All right, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday, the 13th. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams here with your digital desk update. And we're going to talk about how we're moving into a milder weather pattern heading into the weekend. And we'll also take a little sneak peek toward Christmas. Christmas, December 25th, is still more than 10 days away from today, December 13th. So we can't get you all the way there in our 10-day forecast, but we'll take a peek out there and see what's going on. There are signs of a cool down right before the holiday. But first, we got to get through some mild stuff here, and so that's what we're going to be talking about as we take a look at the forecast. So let's get to the latest information. What have you noticed has changed today compared to yesterday? Our sky has turned cloudier. And that's a look outside, a live look, if you're watching this live, over on the coast of Hancock County near the Silver Slipper Casino, at the Silver Slipper Casino. Here's a look at I-10 and 605 in Gulfport, looking at mostly cloudy conditions there. Also looks rather cloudy in Gulfport by the downtown area. Here's a look at Biloxi, looking to the north of Back Bay, plenty of clouds there. And of course, over into the other part of Biloxi by Beach Boulevard, looking toward the northeast, toward the Biloxi Ocean Springs Bridge. Yeah, you get the idea, very cloudy. But one good thing about the clouds today is that we managed to sneak in a really cool sunrise. And I'm going to take this full screen so that you can see just how gorgeous those colors were that were painted from the sun, the rising sun onto the morning clouds. And there's actually a couple of things going on here. So first, we'll just look at it and take in the beauty, right? Beautiful sunrise. But the inner workings of it, let's pull back the curtain on this and look under the hood and let's talk about what we're looking at here with this sunrise. So there's actually multiple layers in the atmosphere, multiple levels of clouds in the atmosphere. And this view will show you two levels of clouds. There's low-level clouds, and this view is facing to the east. So we have some low-level clouds. If I hit play, you'll watch the low-level clouds moving from the Gulf to the shoreline. So they're kind of moving from south to north, the low-level clouds. Those were the really darker clouds there. But then above those, if you look closely, you can actually, I'll reset this, you can see upper level clouds, and those are actually moving from west to east. And as this finishes, I'll kind of draw on the screen a little bit with what I'm talking about. So we have low level clouds moving ashore like that, but above them, we also have upper level clouds that are moving toward the distance there. It's kind of hard to draw the perspective on a 2D screen, but maybe if I reset it one more time, you'll kind of see those two different levels of clouds working together. And they both tell a story about what's happening in our weather. That's the cool thing about being a meteorologist. I can literally just look at the sky, look at what those two levels of clouds are doing, and already know more than half of our weather story. The low-level clouds coming in off the Gulf are a representation of how our air is about to turn less crisp as we go to the weekend. We're tapping into that low-level moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And you can actually see some of these low-level clouds. They show up as this kind of darker color here on the satellite. Those are the ones that are moving in from the Gulf. And again, a representation of a muggier pattern that's about to unfold. But then there's the upper-level clouds, and those were coming in from the west. And they're coming in from Texas. So as you can see, that's actually a part of an upper level feature, which is going to help us to see an increase in cloud cover as we go to the weekend. And fortunately, we're probably going to stay just shy of the rain chances involved with that, but some parts of our state might actually get some rain out of that as we go to the weekend. And I'm not ruling out maybe some of those the low level moisture might actually be able to come together enough for us to get a few hit or miss rain showers at times this weekend. I don't see that as much of a possibility for today, so I'm keeping Friday's rain chance at 0 because I think the air is still a little bit too dry to support rain formation locally. But we go to tonight, we do have a 10%, and then we go to Saturday and Saturday night, and we see a 30% chance for some showers. Now, this is our future cast, and it's gonna show not much rain across the Mississippi coast for pretty much the whole weekend. I think the model might be missing some of the little tiny showers that maybe we'll get into parts of tomorrow. Because if I move this down just a little bit, you see like this one little bitty shower out here, maybe this one little bitty shower near Lake Charles. Those are the ones that I think might try to roll up closer to our coast at times into the weekend. But they're so small that maybe our model is struggling to even really show a picture of those. But the larger areas of rain, the model does a really good job of picking up on that, and that's going to be nowhere near us this weekend. But if you have Saturday travel plans into portions of Arkansas or into portions of North Mississippi, that's where the weather looks wetter. And if I put this into motion for you on Saturday, you'll see that there's showers near Greenville, Mississippi, near Oxford, Mississippi, near Starkville, Mississippi, Tunica, Tupelo, all those places near and north of Jackson. Decent chance for rain on a Saturday. And even as we go past Saturday into Sunday, there still could be some lingering moisture in the northern part of our state to allow for a second day of rain chances basically near and north of Jackson, Mississippi. But as you see, if you've been looking at the southern part of the state, you didn't really see much rain at all this weekend for us. So this kind of helps to paint the picture for the weekend. How, again, Friday, mostly dry for all of us. Saturday, if there's any wet weather at all in the state, it's probably going to focus close to Oxford. Sunday, if there's any wet weather at all in the state, it's probably going to focus close to areas between Starkville and Oxford. But if you look closely, you can just see this little bitty light green just offshore of our coast on Saturday and not too far offshore of our coast on Sunday. And that's how we on the Mississippi coast could get some showers, if just some of those little bitty rain showers off the Gulf try to make a run for our coast. Now later next week, we could, especially around Wednesday, Thursday, get a little bit better rain chance, I think, as a cold front approaches. And that's the one that could bring our pre-Christmas cool down that we'll get to in a moment. But before the cool down, we warm up. And today, back to the 60s for the first time since Tuesday. So it's been a while, well, at least a few days since we've seen temperatures above 60, but it's going to happen today. And then by Saturday, upper 60s. Sunday, we get to lower 70s. Depending on exactly where you are, it could be a little bit milder than others. Like we've got here, I just said lower 70s on Sunday. And as you can see, it says 70 for the coast. So a place like Biloxi could be around 70 on Sunday, but a place like Wiggins, inland, could be around 72 on Sunday. And then go to next Monday, it turns even milder for places like Wiggins, might go all the way to 72 degrees. And now we got you all the way to December 22nd. So pretty close to Christmas, but not all the way there in our 10-day forecast, which includes today, Friday. And we'll make this a bit bigger on the screen for you so that you can get the idea. Again, the coast, that's for places generally south of I-10, Waveland, Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian, Long Beach, Gulfport, Biloxi, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Pascagoula, Moss Point. And then the inland one, the one at the top, that's for places that are generally north of I-10. And that will be for Picayune, Poplarville, Wiggins, The Kill, Saussure, Van Cleve, Lucedale, those places that are generally north of I-10. So now that you get the picture of what you're looking at, you can see the next 10 days, we both find inland and on the coast a cool down around next Thursday. So that will be Thursday, December 19th, maybe dropping us back out of those mild 70s. And then, ooh, even chillier, perhaps around the weekend before Christmas, when on Saturday, December 21st and Sunday, December 22nd, we're looking at afternoons in the 50s. And what's this? A cold morning of 36 on Saturday, December 21st, and a freezing morning of 30 on Sunday, December 22nd. That is a possibility for places on the coast. And for places that are farther inland, maybe a morning in the 20s. 27 is the forecast temperature for Sunday morning, December 22nd, in places like The Kill and Lucedale and Wiggins. And there's some sort of validity to this, right? It's not just kind of la-la land, because not just our little computer models that are showing that, but also the Climate Prediction Center, which looks at a number of factors, They are hinting at a big signal for warmer weather around the week of Christmas in the western part of the country, thanks to kind of ridging there, a ridge of high pressure, and cooler weather for the eastern portions of the eastern U.S. around the week of Christmas. And yes, it's December. Yes, December is cool, but this is factoring in that and comparing it to what kind of normal cool we see, and showing that it could actually be even cooler than our normal cool around Christmas week. And like I just showed you in that 10-day, could be some freezing mornings maybe. At least we saw that for the 22nd, the Sunday before Christmas, and maybe some afternoons in the chilly 50s. Of course, all we have to do is wait, and eventually the 10-day forecast will include Christmas Day when I give that forecast for you next week. But for today on Friday, still a little bit too early to get too detailed about what to expect on the big holiday. But there's a look at our 7-day forecast, and of course, we are for now in the near term going to see an increase in temperature as we move toward a milder weekend, and then maybe get that cool down, the pre-Christmas cool down around next Thursday. Well, hopefully you find a way to stay lucky on this Friday the 13th. Watch out for any black cats. Don't walk under the ladders. Don't crack or break any mirrors. And we'll all do just fine today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams for your Digital Desk Update.